You want America to be 99% white.
Probably say realistically we could get to like 75. I think we need to like deport a lot of people to, actually have that. I think we just need to deport people.
Here's the problem though. It's like, okay, we deport people, but what does that solve?
Yeah, can I ask you a real quick question, just like out of curiosity? Yeah. What historical precedent do you have for mass deportations generating a net economic gain in the United States?
Well, I don't think, like I said, I don't think GDP is everything. I would say culture.
I'm not just saying GDP, I'm just saying gain of any kind.
Wages actually meant more in 1965 before the Hart-Celler Act, so I guess I would reflect.
Do you think that was because of mass deportation?
No, it was because it was pretty much all white people here, and, they weren't over here yet.
Do you know why wages were so competitive in the 1960s?
Because America actually built stuff.
Do you know why America actually built stuff back then?
Because we had all the factories and...
Yes, because we had one of the few countries that wasn't completely bombed out infrastructure-wise after World War II, which made it incredibly easy for the United States to maintain a lead over other countries until after the Marshall Plan reached its fruition. And then suddenly you have the 1980s where a bunch of people are freaking out over Japan potentially surpassing the United States. Right now it's China. They're concerned about China surpassing the United States.
Yeah, because we opened our doors to China. Pretty sure Nixon was the one who did that.
Everything. My question to you is, when in American history has mass deportations been a net positive for the country?
When has mass immigration been a net positive for the country?
Throughout the entire United States history.
Yeah, but it depends where these immigrants are from.
It wouldn't be America without immigration.
Yeah, it wouldn't be America, but those immigrants, they were mainly, Germans and WASPs that were coming over.
Are you forgetting the people who were brought over in the slave trade? Those are immigrants too.
Yeah, and I'm not saying black people are essential to American culture. Black people have, been in America since America was founded. But I would say...
But you want America to be 99% white. I
would probably say realistically we could get to like 75.
I'm mainly asking, when has mass deportations been a net positive in American history?
We've never had to do mass deportations because we never had 50 million.
We did mass deportations during Mexican repatriation in the 1930s. There's the Indian removal.
Yeah, but it was a lot less people.
There's also Operation WB in the 1940s. There were the Palmer raids against Italian Americans in the 1940s. Mass deportations are very much.
But it wasn't as much.
How do you know that for sure? How many people were deported?
How many people were in the Mexican appreciation? I don't know.
So how many people would you like to see deported and from? Obviously, you want all the Somalis deported.
Probably yes, all the Somalians,
even if they're American,
even if they're citizens. Yes, I would probably say about 20 million. Realistically, 20 to 30 million.
So if
there's only 11 million undocumented immigrants in the United States,
I think we need to denaturalize some people.
And how do you do that without impeding upon people's civil rights?
Past 10 to 20 years, I'd say that could be our framework. Have you committed a crime? Are you net positive or net negative on the taxpayer system? Have you acclimated to American society? And I think
how is that in any sense an ethical policy? How is that not going to be exploited?
Wouldn't that also apply to every white person? If a white person commits a crime, should they be denaturalized and sent back to Germany or England?
I think on average, should a white person be deported if they committed a crime?
Well, yes, that's the question.
Should they be same standard?
No, you're holding the standard towards their family's been here long.
So why are you attaching a different sense of judgment towards people based off of their race?
It's not if someone from Sweden committed a crime within the past 5-10 years, they would have to go back as well.
What if I gathered up 5 women and said that you raped all 5 of them, and then you need to be denaturalized and sent to another country? How do you respond to that in a legal and ethical sense without having your civil rights impeded?
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that.
I'm not saying that you wouldn't. I'm not saying that you would do that. I'm saying that what if I use the legal system in order to denaturalize you, take you out of the country, and then seize your property and your business if you had one?
That's a very extreme hypothetical. I don't think that happened.
That's what happens when you deal with mass deportations. What do you think happened during Japanese internment? What do you think happened to all those Japanese businesses?
I don't think Japanese. It's always easier to reflect, after the thing has happened.
These people were given 24 to 48 hours notice, and then they had their business and property seized. Okay, it was wrong in the moment, and we knew it was wrong in the moment.
Yeah, so wait, where are you arguing?
I'm arguing, how do you have a system like that in place that isn't going to be exploited? What if I just gather enough people?
Well, it might be exploited, but it might be exploited, but it just kind of has to happen.
Why does it have to happen? Again, you're advocating for a legal system that would void your rights simply based off of what?
It just kind of needs to happen. That's
why. Why does this need to happen?
because America is being replaced, Canada is being replaced, England's being replaced.
Let me ask you this question.
You're having a different sense of judgment based off of people's race, which is already unethical, and then you're claiming this has to happen, but you haven't provided a substantial reason as to why. There's no historical precedent for mass deportation actually helping the people of America in general.
Yeah, because we've never had 50 million immigrants in the country. I mean, we live in such a time that's different from all eras.
But the country is immigrants. What you're saying is that because it was white immigrants, it's okay. But if it's black or brown or somebody that's
black
not
people,
a Christian...
I'm not deporting black people. Black people have been in America for, I'm pretty sure, longer
under the
than my
system that you propose, that would also make Africans vulnerable to being denaturalized and deported.
No, it wouldn't, because black people are essential. Black people have been in America. That's different. West Africans have been in America since America.
Are you sure that a legal system won't be disproportionately negative towards people who are of African descent? Again,
I mean, the Germans were very tribal.
Did mass deportations work? I need you to provide at least one historical precedent for that. Actually,
one is because it's never had to happen. We've never had to do this.
Let me give you a perfect historical example of that.
When have we deported 20 million people?
It's estimated between 300,000 to 2 million Mexicans and Mexican Americans were deported from the United States, often without cause, from 1929 to 1939. And would you say that was a negative or positive for the United States?
I would say it's a positive.
Okay, then why is it that the United States needed those laborers again, so they instituted the Bracero program only a few years after that?
I'm not familiar with the Bracero program.
That's exactly what I'm speaking on, because if you don't have any historical
I don't have a problem with Mexicans. I really don't. Good food.
I didn't say that. But you said that you need to have mass deportation, but you've got zero historical precedents for this. And
we've never had this many people in the country.
But as a proportion of the population,
when have you needed Indians to work American jobs? When have you needed Somalians in Minnesota? I mean, the list goes on.
As a proportion to the United States population, 2 million Mexican and Mexican Americans in 1929 to 1939. So that is a fairly, adaptable model to see what happens when we remove that many people from the country. And there are multiple other instances. The Indian Removal Act. Would you support the Indian Removal Act in retrospect?
I don't know. It's a tough question. Indian reservations, I don't know if you ever drove through them, but they're kind of rough areas.
Why is that?
Because the United States government has been robbing them since the United States was formed.
But they didn't build anything. What did we rob them of?
No, that's completely false.
Their land, their lives, their childhood, their women. Read the book, Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee.
Do you know why they passed the Indian Removal Act?
No, I do not.
It's because they wanted access to Native American gold mines. Okay, they wanted access to Native American businesses. Mind you, that the people that they were removing were assimilating into American culture. They were doing everything that you're asking them to do. They were assimilating into American culture. They were running businesses. Instead of fighting this outright, aside from the Seminoles in Florida, most of the people who were subject to being deported or moved to Oklahoma and the Trail of Tears tried to fight the Indian Removal Act in the Supreme Court, in which President Andrew Jackson just ignored the Supreme Court's ruling. So again, you have another example of mass deportation being a net negative on the people of America and the economy as well.
You look at an area, I mean, if you look at I drove through Indian reservations, because there is Indian reservations.
Yeah, okay, if you're going to talk about the conditions of Native American reservations today, that is because of the Indian Removal Act. You're blaming people for being exploited, and you're saying, well, this place
I don't know. It's a lot easier to talk on things in retrospect. I mean, at the time, they thought that was probably the best thing to do.
No, it was highly controversial at the time. That's why the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the Native American tribes.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm talking about today. I'm not talking. I can't speak.
Wow.